Hi everybody, this is Racquel Palmese, and I would like to introduce you to a dear friend and colleague that I'm going to interview today with something fascinating for you. Her name is Socorro Diaz. So Socorro, why don't you say hi to our audience and tell us a little bit about what we're doing here today.
Well, today we're here to share about who I am. I'm Socorro Diaz, trauma release facilitator that combines family constellations and somatic work. Both work together. The family constellations is about looking at the history of your ancestors, what you've been carrying in your DNA, in your cells, patterns that keep repeating and holding you back. And the somatic work is about exploring the body, where that trauma is stored in your body, and I help you to release it through some energy work, kind of massage to move that energy.
Very good. So this that you've come to, this powerful work, this is the culmination of years and years. Would you tell us a little bit about your story?
Well, all started years ago when I have a miscarriage, and that got me into doing my healing work, and that was the beginning. Then years later, I went through divorce, and I asked God to guide me, to send me somebody to understand what was going on with me, plus the work that I was already doing as a massage therapist, and I met Racquel, and my new healing process came through, and then a few years later I started working with Family Constellations, got certified a year ago, and all that I have worked and learned through the years, I put it together, and that's how it came facilitating people to release the trauma.
Beautiful. I have to tell you that Socorro is one of the most unique, I was going to say the most unique, and she might be individuals I have ever met, because, you know, she had a hard life. She crossed the border illegally, as we say, a long, long time ago. And would you give us a little bit about your story, because your focus is on migratory trauma.
Yeah.
And migratory ancestral trauma that carries through generations. So
yeah, well, this is something new for me too. It's been a few months that I have that call to heal the migratory history. I'm coming from, my ancestors are migrated, many to the United States, and some of them also illegally, crossing the border. And at 19 I came following their steps, and now learning how the parents repeat in the family system, I understand now that it was for me to let's say, like, I have this contract with my ancestors to come. So I came across the border at 19, and I was illegal or undocumented for 15 years, and doing many different kinds of work. And yeah, it was not easy. I think the most difficult was not being able to go back home, because if I went back home, I have to cross the border again, and I don't want to go through that. Fortunately, I was able to become U.S. citizen a few years ago, and Racquel was there. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really such an interesting story, because you have a very unique way of relating to and thinking about people who are undocumented here and who are going through yet another crisis of getting kicked out of the country which has happened
Yeah.
to your people so many times over and over and over again, until it becomes like a way where like, when do we really feel like we have a place to live?
Yeah, and that's the point, because even though there is a song in Spanish that is called the Golden Cage, La Jaula de Oro, and it talks about how we have everything here. We have more opportunities. The man that sings the song talks about his children, that they have everything that he couldn't have in Mexico, but he cannot go home, and also his children are losing the language, the Spanish language, because they are more involved in school, and they don't want to speak Spanish. And I see that in my community with Latinos, that even parents don't want to teach their children the mother language for them to fit, and it's out of love. It's not that they don't want them to learn the language. It's that I want my child to succeed, and I'd rather him or her to fit in the society than him to speak the language. So yeah, I work a lot with Latinos, and most of the sessions that I do with them are in English, because they understand Spanish but they can't speak it, and that's another part of that is sad for me. But because we lose that part, and also you mentioned that too, that yes, we are here, but we don't belong. And I felt that when I was undocumented. And even the trauma stays, because even after I became legal, I have my green card, I was still like, I'm not from here, but I'm not from there. And when I go back home to visit, I'm not from there anymore. I've been here 40 years, so it's a long time.
Yeah, it's really a dilemma when you think about millions of people that are in a migratory state all the time. Like, what happens to a person? What happens? What is the trauma that starts building up? Like you mentioned, well, where is my homeland?
Yeah.
But what else happens to you when you're not rooted?
Oh God, it's that sense of not belonging. Yeah, it's like even the food is different. Yeah. The flavors are different. When I came, fortunately, I came to live with my relatives that live in a Mexican community. But even that, getting the food here wasn't, tasting the food wasn't the same. Even the beans weren't the same. That's one thing. The other thing is leaving your family behind. I left my mom, my sister, my brother, and that was hard because we are, my siblings and I are very close. So, and back then it was the dial phone. We didn't have cell phones, and the calls were expensive too. So we couldn't talk, much. We couldn't communicate, and that is one. The other one is adapting to a new language too. Even Spanglish, I have to adapt to Spanglish. If I say something the right way, my cousins, my family look at me like, what?
Speak Spanglish.
So I have to learn Spanglish to fit in. That was another thing, yeah.
And you have to put up with my terrible Spanglish.
It's fun. No, it's a lot of fun.
So when you talk about somatic work, how does the body work in? Like, what do you need to release?
Well, I'm going to talk about my own experience. It's scanning my body. Well, a few months ago when I started focusing on the migratory history, I start having flashes, remembering things that happened to me when I was illegal, when I came. And one thing that was my realization is that it's very common for us as immigrants, because we have to survive. We have to just keep going. So we don't pay attention to our emotions. We don't pay attention to what is going on inside. We have to make it happen. But then we deny our emotions, our feelings, our fears. And one of the things that happened, starting my work, healing my migratory history, I started feeling it in my body. I started feeling the fear that walking in downtown LA, being watchful, and the areas that, I hear that immigration was around, I see, and I start having like a heart attack, start feeling in my body. And another experience that I have back then was, I have a job in a fast food restaurant in downtown LA, and I was even afraid of the police. But I kind of shut it down back then, because I had to give that impression that I was tough, that I was not illegal.
Right.
But now that I started doing my work, it was in my gut, in my body, and I had to, just do some healing work myself, and with your help and other collaborators and other friends that have helped me to move the energy, and through the Family Constellations also, because I start also having memories that weren't mine. One of my uncles was arrested and thrown out of the country, and that came to me without even knowing. So, yeah.
So, Socorro, I am not a Latina, obviously, but Socorro did some work with my daughter and me. My daughter is in her 50s, and I'm much later than that, so we're grown-ups, kind of. But so Socorro worked with both of us on ancestry work, and as a Jew, my family's history has to do with constant migration. The Jews were kicked out of everywhere. They were always on the move, and we are a race of many different colors, because we, settle one place and our skin gets darker, then we move to Eastern Europe. In a couple of 100 years, we got blue eyes and whatever. But still, that chain of not having a home. And the work that Socorro did with us was so extraordinary, because as we worked and we felt an ancestor come in to be with us, I felt my father. I don't know, you think she might have felt, and it was like they were here, and I could talk to them and I could ask them what their experience of me was like. And it was really interesting, and I felt where that was living. There is a trauma in my body because of the history of my people, and that for that to get broken up, so that I am not a victim of my ancestry, and recognize that I stand on their shoulders. It's like they are not enemies. My ancestors paid a dear price for their freedom, and so that I could have it. And that feeling of being released from trauma is really your work. I felt like where it is in the body is like incredible. I mean, I felt it in my fingers and my eyeballs. It's like I'm getting off the camera, but it felt very profound and very beautiful work too. So that's my experience with the migratory chains of ancestry needing to get broken up, so that we don't continue to feel like we are living in someone else's home.
And the thing is, with Family Constellations, it shows us the history it's another chapter that we can do later. But what the ancestor is showing us, then we can acknowledge the pain, the suffering, honoring their lives.
Yeah.
And when we honor their lives, we reintegrate them, because many of them have been excluded. Some of them just, took off, and the family never knew about them. They just disappeared.
Yeah.
So those ancestors show up in the family constellation. So by us acknowledging them, we heal not only us as individuals, but we heal the ancestors and the all the one the new ones to come.
Yes. Future generations.
That because by us doing the work, we break the circle, and the new generations are going to be free of that trauma.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this work.
That is it. That is the beauty, and having experienced it from my own point of view, and of course having experienced Socorro's hands on me, is a whole order of magnitude. Amazing. So I really honor you.
Thank you.
And Socorro has a brand new website. There's going to be a link to it at the bottom of this interview. What's it called?
Cafecito and Conchas is a new Instagram, Facebook page. And Cafecito and Conchas is a Mexican bread, sweet bread. And it's about bringing us together as immigrants to share, and it's more like a friendly gathering. So we can talk about our problems, our issues, our everything. And also share resources, what has worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, and to heal by just sharing. It's going to be very informal and friendly.
And very timely. The time has come. We're all probably immigrants from somewhere at some time. Mm-hmm. But it's really important for the chronic migration line of ancestors to be healed, so that we can find ourselves in time and space and heal the wounds that we're carrying from previous generations.
Yes.
So very good for you to do this work, Socorro.
I'm so excited about this new chapter. And invite you to check the new Facebook page, Instagram page, and you're going to find resources there.
Yeah, very exciting work. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.